We have now begun the season of Lent. Our season of Lent begins with Ash Wednesday and runs through the celebration of Easter Sunday. Lent is an old English word that means springtime, new life. And during this period of preparation, before we gather to celebrate the great day of the resurrection of Jesus in Easter Sunday, we have this opportunity to practice these 4 traditional disciplines of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And these disciplines are not ends in themselves, but are intended to lead to something. That they're intended to lead us closer to God, lead us to grow in holiness. They're intended to help us build our virtues of self-control, self-discipline, and generosity. Sometimes people will practice giving up chocolate, or they'll practice giving up their favorite show, or they'll do additional prayer each day, or they may even do a particular act of kindness for somebody else as a part of their spiritual discipline. But again, these are not ends in themselves, but should lead us to grow as individuals. And one of the great gifts that we should take advantage of in this celebration of Lent is this gift of the sacrament of reconciliation. The sacrament of reconciliation has an ancient history that goes back to the very first century. We have writings in the DDK and also from the letter of Barnabas that talk about the practice of the celebration of the sacrament of reconciliation and the importance of confessing one's sins. And in the early church, the sacrament was practiced in public, that individuals who committed a certain number of sins or committed certain sins, and there was only a few that needed to be publicly confessed, would get up before the community. Now remember, in the early church, the communities were very small. They were meeting in people's homes. And chances are these sins that the individuals were going to confess, such as murder or stealing or adultery or apostasy, chances are the people as a part of the community already knew what the individual was about to say. And so the individual would get up and publicly confess these sins, and then there'd be a penance. And sometimes the penance could last a year or longer before the individual could return to the sacramental life of the church. And so from the very beginning, we understand that the sins that we commit are not only offenses against God and break our relationship against God, but they also break our relationship with the community. Which is why in the Confiteor we say, I confess to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have sinned. And so the sacrament of reconciliation not only fixes our relationship with God, but it also fixes our relationship with the community. Now as time went on, as we moved to the 7th century, the Irish monks realized that there were more sins than just these few that were being publicly confessed. And so it was the Irish monks who came up with this idea of a private confession. And they developed these manuals, these moral manuals that listed in greater detail the mortal sins that people could commit. And since the 7th century, the people have been practicing this sort of a private confession. And as time went on, then developed this idea of a confessional. And today, confessionals take a variety of different shapes and forms and in different churches. But again, the mission is the same, the purpose is the same, and that's to be able to rectify one's relationship with God, but not only that, to rectify one's relationship with the community, which is the great gift of the sacrament of reconciliation. It's a gift of healing, a gift of forgiveness, a gift of mercy. And that the idea being that when we experience this great gift from God, then we're more apt to then share that gift with others. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespassed against us. So in this great celebration, in this season of Lent, and in the practice of our disciplines of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, it's a great opportunity to take advantage of this sacrament of reconciliation, to experience in the most incredible way God's love for us in the expression of His forgiveness and mercy. And then in turn, we're able to share that mercy and forgiveness with others.